Have you ever been to the salon and you felt so lost? Have you ever left the salon feeling so unsatisfied? Have you ever got there and you felt so shy and so afraid to ask questions to the hairdresser or the loctician because they are the professional? Well, I'm here to tell you that it is okay to ask questions, and in this video I give you just a few of the questions that you should be asking your hairdresser or loctician. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to The Real ZB. I'm Zintle, and on this channel I talk about my loc journey as well as give you tips and tricks on how to maintain and style your hair from the comfort of your own home. So today we are talking all things salon visits, loctician visits, and I know that going to the salon can be intimidating at times. I personally feel very in my shell when I go to the salon. I never want to offend anybody. I never want to ask too many questions because I don't want to be perceived as the difficult customer. But I'm here to tell you that you are well within your rights to be asking these questions, because at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your hair, it's your head. You have to wear the hair. These questions are so that you can avoid walking out of the salon feeling demotivated or feeling unhappy with what has been done to your head. So let's get into some of the questions that you should be asking your hairdresser or your loctician. So the first question is not really a question, but it's something that you should be doing every time you go to someone new or someone that you're unfamiliar with, or someone that has been recommended to you by maybe social media or a friend or someone in your family. So you should always ask to see the loctician or hairdresser's body of work. Okay, so this one is easy. You don't have to be outright about it and say, I want to see your work, give me your work, because that's kind of offensive and it's kind of coming on a little bit too strong. One thing that I like to do is when I get there, I pretend that I don't know what style I want to do, or I pretend that there's some options that I'm researching, and I ask to see pictures that will give me inspiration. So this is one thing that you can do, and you're gonna come into the hair salon and say, I'm not really sure what style I'm going for. Do you maybe have pictures for me that can give me inspiration? Another thing that you can do is you try and find that particular salon, loctician or hairdresser on Instagram or on Facebook. You look at some of their body of work. Maybe also research by looking for reviews of some of their customers. It's also okay to ask some of their customers what their experience was. So it's very important to first of all establish a pattern of, okay, you know that this person knows how to do what you came in to do. So ask for pictures. They are more, like most hairdressers are normally more than willing to show you pictures because they don't want you to walk out of there without having done your hair. So they'll pull out their phone. Many times for me, they've pulled out their phone, they've showed me pictures of what they did and customers that have been happy. So always go into a new hairdresser or a new loctician knowing what their hair looks like. Knowing what their work looks like. Follow up, the last point is certification, right? So this is something you can ask to see, but normally when you walk into a salon, it's normally on the wall. They normally put all the certifications and certificates for the hairdressers that work there on the wall of the salon. So you don't really need to come out and say, are you qualified for this? But if you can't see the certification on the wall, you are well within your rights to ask them to see some certification, especially for complicated procedures. If you're going in there to interlock to crochet, to maybe bleach or to dye your hair, you really want to make sure that you are doing so from a reputable and qualified provider of that service. Okay, you are not going to go and try and start Sister Locs from someone who has not been accredited or certified as a Sister Locs consultant. So you should always make sure that even in conversation, you know, act like you, while they're washing your hair, act like you are just making conversation and be like, oh, so where did you go to beauty school? How was your experience? What kind of courses did you do? What kind of other cool stuff can you do? Just drop it in in the conversation, just to make sure that the person who is doing what you want on your hair is actually certified to be doing it, because you don't want to walk out of there with them maybe have botched your whole hairstyle. You maybe have to cut your hair, and then it's a whole other situation. So you must always make sure that, yeah, at least you're going to someone that you know is certified and is trained. The next one, you should always be asking whether the hairstyle that you want is going to work on your type of hair. Because sometimes you see something on someone on Instagram or a celebrity, or you're just inspired by all these different photos that you see on a daily basis, and now you want to be trendy, you want to be, you know, on trend, you want to be keeping up with everything that is going on in the world, you want to be fashion forward. So sometimes you will see a hairstyle and it won't necessarily work on your hair. So you need to be asking the loctician or the hairdresser whether this hairstyle will work on your type of hair. You need to be asking them, if you're starting locks from the beginning, you need to ask them what is the best, if you have fine hair, what is the best method for your kind of hair. If you have relaxed hair, what is the best method to start on relaxed hair? What does the maintenance look like for someone who has your type of hair? Before you go and do something as a bugger later, I've heard so many stories about people starting locks 5 times because maybe the first 2 were botched because they were done by someone who doesn't know what they're doing, and then the 3rd set wasn't good for their type of hair, the 4th set also didn't work out in their type of hair, and finally at the end of the 5th set they were able to do it. So it's better to upfront ask all of these questions. Ask them, what are the different methods that I can use for my type of hair? You know, your friend might have started with 2-strand twists, but your hair might be too fine to start with 2-strand twists. You need to ask them what products they will be using. Okay, so you also need to develop that skill of being able to read the ingredients that are on products. You need to know what are the ingredients that are good for your hair, what are the ingredients that you will not tolerate on your hair, and what are the products that don't work well for your hair. So you're well within your rights to ask them, what shampoo are you using? What conditioner is this? What treatment is this? You know, and you're also well within your rights, if you don't feel comfortable asking these questions, to bring your own products to the salon. You know, if you know that your hair only tolerates one type of shampoo, rather than throwing the dice and to say, maybe they'll have the shampoo there, bring a shampoo through the hairdresser, so that they use the shampoo that you normally wash your hair with, that your hair is in love with, that your hair appreciates, to the salon. You know, bring the conditioner that you normally use, bring everything that you normally use, bring the gel, the twisting gel that you normally use. If you don't want them maybe to use beeswax on your hair, just make sure that if you're going there without your products, know how to read labels, know what ingredients you are not going to tolerate, you know, up front, so that you know, okay, no, I'm fine with whatever's being put in my hair. You should also know up front what tools are going to be used. Okay, if you're someone who's trying not to put heat on their hair, and you go to a salon where unfortunately they use hair dryers, hot combs, flat irons, all of this stuff. You know, you probably not gonna want them to put heat on your hair, and then it's gonna be awkward when you've already washed your hair and you're sitting there and they bring out the dryer and you're like, but I don't do heat. You know, so make sure that you are asking them, okay, so do you guys mind not putting heat, or is it something that you absolutely have to do? For this style, will you have to put my hair under a hair dryer? And you know, those type of things. Get to know like what tools are used in that salon, so that you can decide up front before you even do anything whether you want to go through with it or not. And the last point is a huge one for me, because so many times I have walked in to the reception, asked Mana, this is what I want to do, how much is it? They will say, oh no, it's 200 rand. And then I sit and the person does my hair, and at the end of the day, when I'm about to pay, the person is like, no, it's actually 1,000 rand. I don't know why the receptionist told you that. Like, you won't even know how many times this thing has happened to me. Like, so you need to make sure that upfront you ask even 5 times. Every time they're introducing a new thing, if they want to condition your hair, or if they want to do a treatment on your hair, you ask them, okay, is it going to be extra? How much extra is it going to be? Make sure that you know exactly how much the person who's actually touching your hair, how much they normally charge for what you will be doing. And make sure that the person at the front and the person who's doing your hair, they agree that this is the price that you are going to pay. Because sometimes, guys, when you go into a salon, you have materiality. You know, you have a certain amount that you will not pay for a certain hairstyle. And when the person at the front tells you something is 200 rand, you are like, okay, no, it's cheaper than the other place, so let me sit and do it here rather. Only to find out later that it's 1,000 rand. Maybe your cap was 500 rand for that particular hairstyle. I don't know. But it's very important to make sure that you know exactly what price you will be paying upfront, so that there's no funny business later on where you have to now call people and say, no, but that girl said, and that girl said, and that girl said, and it's a whole situation. So make sure that you ask and be clear how much you will be paying for your hair. So yes, guys, hopefully this video has and will help you on your next salon visit. So if you're new here, make sure that you click the subscribe button, and if you are golden oldie, I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.